Hello there, I'm going to do a quick video on analog versus digital. If you don't know who I am, I'm Gurpreet. I made all this stuff. I'll leave links in the description to all these projects, as well as in the card above. I also have a degree in electrical engineering, and I've taught numerous lectures to middle schoolers, elementary school kids, high schoolers, college kids, all majors, art students, biology students, what have you, CS students, the basics of circuitry and electronics. And today I'm going to be covering these topics because people come and ask me what these are, they get confused by them, and the videos that exist online are way too long for some weird reason. So this is a quick reference video so people can understand what the difference between digital and analog is. So real quick, I'm going to be using 0 and 5 volts because most microcontroller boards like the Arduino or Raspberry Pi are all 5 volt logic based, so that's just what I'm using for this video. But there could be other ones like 0 and 3.3 volts as your low and high. Just 0 and 5 for this, just noting that. For this, digital means that you can either only ever send high or low. So you can either send all your power at once or none of your power at all, right? So when you do digital write high, you send full 5 volts to that pin, right? On the Arduino, there's digital pins, right? Digital write high is sending full 5 volts to that pin. Digital write low is attaching that pin to ground or sending no volts or 0 volts, or low in this case, right? Because you write the word low. You can only either be in a state of full power or no power. There's nothing in between, right? So as you can see in this graph, right, you're only either 0 volts or 5 volts. The transition period is virtually immediate, or happens immediately. In actuality, right, there's some ramp up time to happen, but you don't actually, theoretically, you don't actually consider that to be an actual thing. You just consider it to happen instantaneously. For analog, it's a variable voltage. So you can have values in between 0 and 5 volts. You can have 2.5, you can have 4, you can have 3, you can have 1, you can have 1.1, whatever, right? You can have different values between your low and your high values. You can have any variable voltage that you wish. On the Arduino, you technically cannot write analog power outwards, right? Because it turns out that the circuitry to do that is kind of expensive. So Arduino cheats by doing PWM. I'll explain that in a future video, link in the description and in the top card. But you can read in analog values. So there's 6 analog imports, so you can read in analog values from, say, a potentiometer or a photoresistor or some sort of sensor, right? And those will come in as values between 0 and 1023, which just maps between 0 and 5 volts. So if you get in a value of 1023, that's the full 5 volts. If you get in a value of say 512, that's about 2.5 volts. You can just do the math for the rest of them. So digital is used primarily for actually most of the tech that you use nowadays. It's really easy to store data as a bunch of zeros and ones, right? Highs, lows and highs. But there comes a time and a place for analog stuff. A lot of old tech is analog based technology, say for example audio files or sound waves. You need to have a variable voltage to be able to drive a speaker to create an audible sound, right? Me talking right now, I'm creating a variable waveform across the air so that you can hear it. And the way that it's being processed is that it's being stored digitally, right, ones and zeros, because storing it as ones and zeros is super easy because we have the circuitry for that, and storing it as analog stuff is really difficult. So we translate it to digital stuff with a digital or analog to digital converter, right, as you would with an Arduino, and then it's output to speakers, the digital to analog converter, right, so then you can hear it with your own speakers. So that's just the basic overview of the differences between the two. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions about these two topics, please leave a comment down below. And if you have any questions about future videos that you want me to create, please leave a comment down below. I'll try to answer everything and try to create more videos to help out people who are trying to learn the basics of electronics. I hope you enjoyed this. Please leave a thumbs up if you did. Thank you for watching. Peace.